On this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the industry side of it. I'm going to explain the transparency between the carrier, fleet owner, and the drivers. First, I want to make sure you like and subscribe. And also, if you are interested in doing what we do, you have a team driver, you can email me. This video is inspired by a question from one of the followers on the channel. The question comes from Bandit Trucking. Bandit Trucking said, "Great video, Frank. My question or thought is this. FedEx Custom Critical pays us drivers X amount for the load. Is there, or do we know what the amount is compared to what the customer is actually being paid by FedEx for our services? Is it a percentage to the driver? We know that with some or a lot of these loads, there's wiggle room with the pay amount." First of all, I want to thank Bandit Trucking for watching. So here's the answer. The owners of the truck have an agreed upon percentage of the revenue that the truck will receive from the carrier. That amount is 60.5% of the revenue the carrier is charging the customer. That doesn't mean that is exactly what is going to be paid to the truck. The carrier will at times, at its discretion, pay a higher percentage of the revenue to the truck. There are instances when the carrier will pay over what the customer paid to the truck, or over revenue, as those of you that are in the industry already know. You understand what it means. So knowing that there is an agreed percentage of 60.5%, you can reverse the math and get an idea of what the carrier is being paid for by the customer. There have always been naysayers and people who are conspiracy theorists who think that the carrier is getting or trying to get more than the agreed rate or percentage that they agreed to, which is the 60.5% that we talked about. I want to state emphatically, I don't believe this happens. A lot of you think I'm naive, and they're like, how can you trust or believe the carrier? I want to say that I do 110% trust the carrier. It's important for everyone to understand that the carrier is in a partnership with the owners of the trucks and the drivers. They have a binding agreement to pay that percentage, and the risk not doing it is a risk that I don't think the carrier would want to take. They would pretty much have to be a shady company to do. If you think I'm naive, great, I'm naive. I 110% trust them. Usually there's a reason why a question like this comes out. Somebody doesn't just say, hey, I think they're making more money. It's got to come from somewhere. And usually what happens is a driver, they've carried a load, they know what these percentages, and they go to a dock and they see on a bill of lading, or they talk to somebody and they tell them, how much they got paid for that load. And it's usually a bigger number. And they go, that's not right. We only got paid this amount, and those percentages don't match. And then all of a sudden there's this huge conspiracy that we're not getting our fair share. In logistics, there are a lot of hands taking their cut. If the shipment is not booked directly by the customer through the carrier, then it might have been booked through a broker or an agent. There could have been multiple layers in the booking process, and multiple people taking their little piece and their little cut. So you could see a customer pay $10,000 for a load to be carried on the truck, and only a percentage of $6,000 was paid to the truck. So by the time the carrier got it, it was only $6,000 load, but the customer originally paid $10,000 for the load. But it got booked by this agent, who booked it by this agent, who said, hey, I know I can ship this expedite, and I can get a really good rate because I have a relationship with this carrier, and they're going to give me this rate, and I'm going to get it for $6,000. The carrier gets paid $6,000. The truck is going to see roughly around $3,700 of that, and then the team is going to see their percentage of that. I hope that clarifies the part of transparency between the carrier and the truck and the drivers. Now, I want to talk about transparency between the truck owner and the drivers. I guess this goes out more to potential drivers, because drivers and or potential drivers, knowing how much you get paid and when that pay is going to be received is probably one of the most asked, and probably, in my opinion, the most important question. I think how, why, and when you get paid is, in my opinion, probably the most important question. This is going out mostly to future drivers. Drivers that are already driving for fleet owner already understand how they get paid. They're already in the system. They're used to the rhythms of when loads are going to pay out, and it's different on either side. As a driver, you should be able to see every penny in every single penny that was paid to the truck. If there's something that you're not seeing, if there's a $4,000 that was paid to the truck and you only get to see $3,300 of it, you should be wondering what happened to that other $700. You should be able to see every single penny. I'll use my company as an example. I've seen a lot of pay plans over the years. I've seen tricks that fleet owners use to make it look like you're making a bigger percentage. I like to call it smoke and mirrors. The pay from the carrier, the total amount, it shows the total amount. So let's say it's $4,000. And then it breaks down into different categories or line items, like on a ledger. Fuel surcharge is an amount of money paid to the owner of the truck to help offset the cost of fuel. This is shown to the drivers prior to taking the load and once the truck has been paid. So when you see the amount that you're being offered or taking, you see what the fuel surcharge is. When you get paid, you see the total amount and it matches the amount that was paid to the truck, and you see the fuel surcharge as a line item. Tolls are just what they sound like. I said that I've seen a lot of pay plans that try to give the illusion that the drivers are going to make a lot more money by going with this company or that company. I want to explain to you, the more variances, the more twists and turns that you see in a pay plan, like you get paid this much for this, or you get paid for this, or you get paid a certain more percentage if you hit this level and more percentage if you hit that level. The more twists and turns there are in a pay plan, it's more opportunity for you not to get your fair share. Do your research. This recently came to my attention, and it was a company that's charging for the use of load bars, straps, blankets, and pallet jacks. Every single one of our trucks comes equipped with all of these items. And on white glove trucks on the FedEx side, it is one of those things that's required by the carrier. It's crazy to think that somebody charges for those items. It's just nuts. There are fleet owners who will offer to let you pay for fuel and reverse the percentage. In simple terms, some will pay you 60 or 58% or thereabouts, and they'll keep the difference. And it sounds like a great deal until you start doing the math, until you get into it and you start figuring out the cost of fuel, and you notice that they're splitting the fuel and the tolls also. So you're paying the tolls and you're paying the fuel, but they're still getting a percentage of the fuel surcharge and tolls. It's a 60-40 or 58-42, whatever, and it's everything. So you're paying all of the fuel, 100% of the fuel, but you're splitting the fuel surcharge with these people. When you count the pennies at the end of the day, it usually doesn't amount to more money. Sometimes you actually end up losing money. Also, the price that you see on the fuel pump is not the price that the fleet owner is actually paying for the fuel. They are being subsidized with discounts, sometimes through the carrier or like us through our partnership with Expediter Services. We get fuel discounts at national chains, and you don't see that on the pump. Does that discount pay for fuel? No. But if the fleet owner sees that price, which they do, they see the retail price, and they're paying less, there's money that they're holding on to and not passing on to the drivers. And the drivers don't have access to those numbers. Again, the more twists and turns in a pay plan or deposits you have as a driver, the more you should be worried or aware. I hope this shed some light on transparency between the carriers and the trucks and the fleet owners. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you would like to talk to me, this is something that you're interested in doing, you can email me. You get an email, click the link, make an appointment, and you can talk to me. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you found some information that you could use. If you're interested in more videos like this, check out this video right here. And if you're interested in expediting or trucking, or you have any questions, make sure you check out the link below.